This video shows you how to compare and evaluate expressions with parentheses. Now before we go far, it is important to remember PEMDAS or GEMS. GEMS might be new for some of you, but it's another take on PEMDAS, where PEMDAS stands for parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, or subtract, and you do the order from top to bottom, where GEMS is groupings, exponents, multiplex, and simplex, where it sounds more complicated, but it's more inclusive, where groupings can be parentheses, brackets, braces, whatever you're doing to group something. Exponents includes powers, roots, and logarithms, which you're not going to get into until probably high school, but it's good to remember now. Multiplex is your multiplication and division, and simplex is your addition and subtraction. Okay, so remember the order as we go forward. Let's look at our first problem. Write an evaluation to match the tape diagram, then evaluate. Again, we need to think about what we're going to do first here. We did tape diagrams before. Now how can we analyze it? How can we break it down into something smaller? We know we're going to need to add 9 and 11, looking at the two of those. And I'm going to put that in parentheses because I know that I'm looking at this part. The top part is going to be 9 and 11 combined, or the sum of 9 and 11. Looking at the bottom and at the tape diagram, I see that I have 4 sections. 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I need 3 of them. So really what I'm looking at is 3/4 of 9 and 11. Or, if I say it correctly, 3/4 of the sum of 9 and 11. You should remember that we've talked about this before. When we look at the text here, saying the sum of 9 and 11 means that we need to do this part first, which is why it's in parentheses, and then we can find out 3/4 of it. Okay? Sometimes there will be commas involved, which help break it down a little bit. But again, pay attention to what comes first. Another way to look at it is it wouldn't make sense to say 3/4 of 9 plus 11. Okay, think about what makes sense. Try another problem. This time I want you to write it. Write the product of 4 and 2 divided by 3. I'm not asking you to write the words, I'm asking you to write an expression. Okay, we're going to break this down a little bit. Product tells me I need to multiply. Okay, and it says of 4 and 2. So what I'm doing is I'm multiplying 4 times 2. Okay, the comma tells me I need to do that first, so I'm going to put that in parentheses. Divided, straightforward, I'm dividing, and I'm dividing it by 3. So 4 times 2 divided by 3. And remember, another way that I can write that is 4 times 2 over 3. Or I could even write 4 times 2 divided by 3. Okay? Or I could even make it complicated and say 4 divided by 3 times 2, or 2 divided by 3 times 4. But these 3 ways are the main ones that you need to know for right now. Let's try one more problem. Evaluate and compare 2 divided by 3 times 4 and 4/3 doubled. What this means is I need to evaluate, or I need to solve this problem and this problem, and then compare them. Which one's greater? Or is one less than the other, or are they the same? Go ahead and evaluate or solve these. Now how you write this problem can make a difference in solving it. When we write it out this way, it's a little bit confusing as to if it's equal or if they're not equal just by looking at them. So what we can do here is we can change 2 divided by 3 and write that as a fraction, remember. So we can do 2/3 times 4 and 4/3 times 2. And if we multiply them across, C2 times 4 over 3 is the same as 4 times 2 divided by 3, which is equivalent, or the same as, equal to 8/3, which we can then simplify and turn into 2 2/3. Okay, when you have a problem like this, be sure to rearrange the problem and follow PEMDAS or GEMS, and it will help you. You can draw a tape diagram if it helps you draw another picture. Do what helps you get to where you need to be.